Sometimes it's hard sticking to your trading plan, but you know, in the end, it's really for the best. I got kicked out of a couple of stocks today, break even, and I even lost a little bit of money on them. I'll show you guys what I did today on Market Open Trading. What's up, guys? It's Miguel here with Market Open Trading. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, consider subscribing, where I do recaps and informational videos on helping you how to stay profitable in the market. Now, let's talk about the trades that we did today. If you notice, I did overtrade a little bit, but I wasn't nowhere near close to being, near my max loss or anything like that. I did everything according to the rules, unlike yesterday. If you guys go back and watch my video from yesterday, I ended up losing $570 something or something like that. I broke rule number 4 and number 5. Today, I made sure to stick with all the rules, and I came out on top. And also made sure to stick with my trading plan, which is very, very important. Alright, so now let's talk about the first trade I took. I took SIG. I had it this morning on the gap up, and I ended up taking a flag on it. It looked good right when it started pulling back to right around here. I was actually waiting for it to come back up and over 52.80 or so, but it actually ended up pulling back 2 more times, and it started curling back up. Now, at this point, I wasn't really thinking it was going to head back to 53.66. I was just going to be able to make one bar, put stop loss at break even, and be able to get out of it. But, unfortunately, it never actually ended up coming back. So, if you see here, it pulled back. Next candle make a new high is typically my entry, and I got kicked out the very next candle. So, I ended up losing $100 on that. Now, with this pullback here being 5 candles, typically I've noticed that if you have a pullback that's too many candles, a lot of the times it won't end up working. Now, here on the 5-minute, it actually ended up working out, but on the below VWAP and above the 9, which is not really my cup of tea. I'd like for it to be above the 9 and above VWAP, so that's why I ended up taking it here on the 1-minute. But the pullback was a little bit too much and actually ended up rejecting, as well as the market being red this morning. So pulled up and started going down. Next trade I took was on Ollie. Let's see here. Ollie was a gap down. Now, I actually ended up shorting it on the 1-minute as well. So here, ended up shorting it right at 940. So right here in this candle. So 75.26 was actually going to be my short. So if you notice, it started downtrending, and I got filled only 50 shares right at 75. So right here at 75, I expected it to crack, and I was going to have my stop up here high a day. So we're talking 2 points on this stock. So that's why I only took 50 shares. This thing can definitely move 4 points in a day, but it filled the gap. I didn't notice that. To be honest with you, I didn't notice that it filled the gap all the way back up, and then I shorted it at 75, which is basically right around gap fill. So I didn't take a second to look back. I just knew that if it went below 75, it looked like it was going to collapse. So as you can see here, it actually ended up curling back up, made a lower high. I stuck with it, and then I lowered my stop. So 76.42. Then I believe it made a lower high again here at 75.66. I kept it for a little while. I ended up getting kicked out over 76 right at 955. So lower high, came back up and over 76. Oh, actually, so lower high. I put my stop here on that pullback, and then after that, I put my stop here over 76. And that's when I ended up getting kicked out. So I only got kicked out for 1 point. So I only took a half of my risk loss on that one. So I lost $50 on that, and I lost $99 on SIG. Let's see here. So SIG, Ollie, covered SIG. All right, then I took a trade on FSLR. So FSLR, believe it was on the 5 minute. Yep, right here. So right here on the 5 minute, you'll see that it actually ended up going sideways. So broke down, started consolidating sideways, and I wanted to put my stop here at 55.36. At 55.36, and I was going to go ahead and get in short under 55. So I got short at 55.01. So down, sideways for consolidation. It broke down below 55. It covered my 30 cents pretty quickly. So it broke down. This little bear flag right here broke down. As soon as it hit 54.70, stop loss at break even. And now I was trying to get down to 54.40 down here. FSLR, I ended up covering 200 shares at 54.39, and the last at 54.43. So on FSLR, ended up making 182. You'll see actually FSLR actually crashed down way below that, but I made my 2-to-1. It almost hit 53. Oh, actually, low of 52. It actually never pulled back. I was expecting to have a pullback to VWAP and it just keep going lower. I was actually waiting on that to be able to trade it again. It ended up doing it on the 5 minute candle, but too quickly. So I didn't end up taking it. So you'll see here, kind of bounced twice, came back up. It didn't really quite hit VWAP, and it didn't slowly come back up. So I wasn't gonna take it. So now. I was down on SIG, down on Ollie, but then I ended up making one good trade on FSLR. I was up $30 at that moment. Now, let's see, what's the next trade? I believe AMBA. AMBA, I ended up trading it twice. Yeah, typically I don't trade this much. I will admit I was over trading today. But I was sticking to all of my rules. I was being very careful and mindful of how I was feeling. As silly as that might sound, I knew that I wasn't frustrated. I was basically up $30. I wasn't breaking any of my rules. I had a lot of stocks on my watch list, and some of them looked really, really good. It's just depending on what the market was doing, depending on which ones I was going to take. So now I had AMBA pull back up to VWAP. I had it pull back up to VWAP, and I said, okay, I'll go ahead and take it, but I have to remember stop loss of break even after 1-to-1. So right here it pulled down. Let's see here. Oh, actually, when did I take 954? Oh, right here it was. This is this VWAP projection here. So pulled back up to VWAP on 2 candles. Next candle to make a new low was going to be my entry. This candle went ahead and triggered me in. So AMBA right at 954, 54.41. Actually, I got triggered here in this candle at 43. So pulled up to VWAP, got rejected. I got short here at 43, 43.06. And stop loss at 43.70. So I only ended up taking 150 shares, risking about 60 cents. So the thing on that is I ended up getting in a little early. So if it broke down below the 43, I was probably looking at it here on the 1 minute. What time was it? 9:54. I was probably looking at it here on the 1 minute. Went ahead and triggered, got short. So I got in slightly early. I didn't finish for the pattern. I didn't wait for the pattern to finish out. I was looking at it here on the 5 minute as well. So I was kind of flip-flopping back and forth, and I said, well, it looks like if it breaks below 43, I should be okay. It's below VWAP. It's below the 9, so I'm going to go ahead and get in short. And the low ended up being 42.40, and stop loss, break even, I had made my 60 cents, and I ended up getting kicked right back out over 43. So I got kicked out of AMBA right at 43.09, so I ended up losing a couple of dollars. Then I actually ended up getting back into AMBA as it broke down below 43. So one thing that I will do is if I get kicked out of it and it is a lower high, I will go ahead and get back in at a better price. I'll basically just try to time the top. I'll go ahead and short it, and if the next candle goes higher, I'll go ahead and get out. So that's why I ended up losing $24 on AMBA, basically $7 or something like that in the very first trade when I got kicked out, break even. And the next trade, I think I ended up losing like $15. So I got kicked out of AMBA at 43.09. See, went ahead and got short 125 and ended up getting kicked out at 43.18. So right, let's see, 1022. So right in here. So I got short again on AMBA at 1022. So right here. And if it was going to get over VWAP, I was going to go ahead and get out. Ended up taking $24.50 of a loss. Now, not a big deal. I think I was basically break even at that point. I was up $30. Now I'm down again. So I'm waiting for these patterns to fill out. I'm still not breaking any of my rules. Fine. Being mindful, I'm not frustrated. Now, I ended up scanning because I didn't really see anything else that I liked. And I saw Facebook actually popping down. So had a down scanner and looked up volume. Looks like it's no longer on here. But Facebook was actually number 1. And I ended up flipping over to Facebook and I saw it on the 5-minute right here. So I saw Facebook bouncing. And I almost, well, I guess it would have been a good mistake, but I made a mistake of putting out 500 shares to short Facebook at 19 or 190.59. Don't have the buying power for that. That's kind of an expensive stock. I'm not really quite sure what went through my mind when I wanted to short it here, but I wanted to put my stop. Let's see here. I think my stop was going to be up here at 191.55. So we're talking $1, right? And for some reason it didn't click in my head. That is a $1 stop. You know, you should only use 100 shares, but for some reason I went 500. I'm not sure if maybe I thought that this was 190 and not 191. Not really sure. I just kind of looked over at it. I said, okay, I have to get in it if it breaks under. So I did. I was like, okay, let's half it. Let's go down to 300. I went ahead and shorted it 190, 190.59. So right as it broke down, I got in short, and then I noticed. I said, oh crap, you know, my stop is $1 away. Let me go ahead and start unloading some of these shares. So as it broke down to 190.08, I took 150 off, and then I said, okay, well, stop loss is going to have to be break even, and I ended up getting kicked right out of it. So ended up making $97 on Facebook. So I was up $200 at one point, or 150, 160, something like that. And let's see here. Oh, actually, no, I ended up getting out of it completely. So as it broke out over 190.50, I wanted to go ahead and get out of it. So I got out at 190.45, ended up making $97. Facebook was a complete, utter, well, I wouldn't say it was a mistake. It was just, it was a sizing error. That's the only reason why I made $100 on the amount of shares that I had. Because if I would have waited it for it to go down to $1, then I probably would have gotten kicked out break even, because this thing is not going to go $2. So 190.50, 189.50. So down here I would have been up $300. But I probably would not have hit my 2-to-1 target. I probably would have took some of the shares off. Honestly, it's just way overexposing myself on something like that, on a simple mathematical error that I should not even have been in the first place. But yeah, I took most of the shares off, or half the shares off, and I was up $100. Just trying to. I saw it and I was like, okay, that's way too much. Let me get out some of this. Now, I typically wouldn't trade Facebook if it didn't have a catalyst behind it. So I looked, and it says that they leaked some information to some Chinese firms. They keep coming up with these. They keep leaking information. Honestly, this is not good. This looks like a good VWAP projection, actually, that's forming right now on Facebook. The market is headed higher, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so that was trade on Facebook. Kind of a mistake. We'll admit that. All right, let's see here. Next. That was my AMBA trades. Hoo-yah. Okay. Got kicked out, basically break even on Facebook because I hit my 1-to-1. Got kicked out of break even on AMBA because it hit my 1-to-1. Now, Hoo-yah, the other one. Right here, I saw it forming this little top here at 30.79. The 9 was curling up under it. The market was starting to what time was this? This was at 10:20. So we were up near VWAP. We had closed the gap already. So my guess was that we were actually going to start heading higher. We came down real quick and then we started heading back up. So to me, Hoo-yah, H-U-Y-A, had an amazing daily chart. I'll show it to you guys real quick. It's a relatively new stock as well, so it doesn't have any resistance above 39.60. So to me, right here at 31.60 was basically, why is this thing? Oh, well, 31.60 was the 52-week high. It's only been in the market for a couple of months, so actually for about a month. So to me, if it was above 31.60, it basically had the world to go. And I knew that we were sitting here bouncing around VWAP, formed a good flat top with a pullback already. So I went ahead and got into it right here at 31.70. So 125 shares long, with my stop was going to be down here at the pullback. The low of this pullback was 32.12. If you notice on here, I actually ended up breaking out. It came up, hit my 1-to-1 target, and I got kicked out break even again. So if it goes to break even, or if I go to break even, that means that it hit my 1-to-1 target, which means that I can no longer lose money, and I'm going to sit there and hold it until it hits at least 1.5 or 2-to-1, and then I'm going to start selling either all of my shares or most of my shares. So that's something that I've been sticking to, or been trying to stick to mostly, because if you start selling your shares earlier and earlier and taking profits, you think that you're going to be, yes, you are booking profits, and I hear this all the time that, like, oh, you can't go broke taking profits. Yeah, you actually can go broke taking profits. If you keep taking profits too early, which means that you're either barely 1-to-1 and you are not, you're not batting more than a 50% average, and you keep taking your full losses, which means that your losses are going to be greater than your winners, which means that you're going to basically slowly bleed out your account. So yes, you can go broke taking profits. So I make sure to take my profits at least above 1.5 to 1 or 2-to-1. So, and it's something I had to battle so hard with Tesla, with the next trade that I'm actually about to show you guys, because I was holding it for such a long time, and I was trying not to sell my shares, and I said, okay, I'm already up, I was only up like $100, and it was getting very close to my break-even stop, and I said, nope, I'm going to hold it because I know Tesla has the momentum to be able to make $200 or $150 to $200. So if I go to break even, then I'm not going to lose any money. I'm already up on the day. And it's such a hard concept to try and do, because the profits are there, you want to take them, but you know that is an actual losing mentality. If you start taking profits early, it's going to become a habit. It's going to be a bad habit that you're not going to want to deal with later on, because it's going to cause you to bleed out your account over time. So I try and make myself sit there and hold it. Stop loss break even, I will try my best and fight it to hold it as long as I can, and not move my stop up. So with that being said, I got stopped out on Hoo-yah back at 30.64. So it went my 1-to-1, stop loss break even, and got kicked out at 30.64 as it was flushing down. So I lost $7. Not a big deal, because I know I had the possibility of making at least $150 to $200. I was up, I think, maybe like 110, 120 or something like that. So it wasn't even my 1.5. So I knew stop loss break even, you got to sit there and hold it. This is basically where you're going to have to practice your mental toughness and see if you can do it. Now, with that being said, I had both Huya and Tesla both going on, both long, and the market started heading higher. Unfortunately, I got kicked out of Huya, and Tesla was the only one left. Now, news on Tesla was, I think Elon Musk said that they're going to meet their quota for their Model 3s or something like that. So typically I wouldn't trade Tesla unless there's an actual catalyst behind it. It had a decent daily. As you can see here, the next resistance point is not up here until 313. We were sitting somewhere around 305, 306, and I figured, okay, well, look at this little flat top consolidation right here. The 9 is curling back up under it. VWAP is under it to support it. I'm going to go ahead and get in long over 306. So right here at 306.09, I got triggered. My stop was about $1.20 away. And with that into consideration, that's why I only took 80 shares. So Tesla immediately ended up going to 307. And now the 9 was curling up and supporting it. So as soon as it hit 307.30 or so, put my stop loss break even. And it actually never ended up breaking down below the 9. So as soon as it hit my 1-to-1 stop loss break even, I sat there and held it for a while. Now, if you'll notice here, Tesla actually started going sideways for a little bit, for about 30 minutes or so. And my target was above 308. My target was somewhere, I think it was like 38.49 or something like that. And it was very hard holding it there for a while. I knew that high a day was here at 308.24, and I just didn't know what was going to happen. I was up $120, $130, and it took everything I had in me to try and hold it. I knew it was possible. I even tried walking away and going to the bathroom, going to go get some food, stop loss break even, so I didn't lose any money. And I came back, and Tesla was up above 308, and I ended up taking it at 308.20. When I actually took it, because I wanted to take it 308.49, Tesla is such a large spread that, because it's a $300 stock, so it has such a large spread that I saw 308.49 flash on the bid, and by the time that I pushed it, I pushed a market order. By the time that I pushed it, I was back down to 308.20. So I only ended up making $168 on Tesla. I didn't really take it where I should have. Didn't really think something like that was going to happen so quickly, but I should know better. I've traded Tesla now for kind of a long time, and I should have put out a limit order, and I could have gotten filled at a little bit better price. Now, if you notice here, Tesla is now at 310. So yes, I could have held it. Yes, I could have made more money, but I would rather say that I could have made more money than I could have lost less. And I'm always telling you guys that. And one of my reasons to get out is if I hit my target. If I'm up above my 2-to-1, I'm going to go ahead and start taking some of my profits. So up on the day, let's see here, I think 280, 270, something like that, if I add all these up. So digging myself out from yesterday's loss. Yesterday's loss was like $500 and something. So definitely digging myself out slowly. Got to stick to all my rules. And I'll probably be out of that hole here sometime soon. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to put it down in the comment section below. If you guys do like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. Also, I know that this probably ran on for a very long time, but I did take a lot of trades, and I do like to think it's a little informational for you guys. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you have not joined us yet on their Facebook group, make sure to do that. The link will be down in the description below, where I post my watch list for you guys every single day. Lastly, if you guys are curious on how I learn how to trade, I provided you guys with the discount code in the description. It comes with one-on-one mentoring, classes, and buying power, so make sure to take advantage of that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.